We were filming an episode down in Ocala, and we were camping at Freak Creek.
Right. Because people go there and get freaky with their cousins.
Season 3 of the show, we were down there. So I went to bed, and I didn't realize that this happened until after you told it to me. So can you explain what happened again?
Okay, so we're at Freak Creek, which is a small creek in, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of Ocala. And the locals go there to drink, swim, party, that kind of thing. Fun fact, a few weeks after we left, there was a 14-year-old girl there swimming with her friends, and a giant gator came up to try to get her, and she had to climb up a tree and sit there for a couple hours until FWC came out and shot the gator to rescue the girl.
That's 100% real.
What is the emergency?
I'm at Free Creek. My daughter's stuck in a freaking tree. There's gators surrounding her. We can't get her out.
The other thing about Free Creek being out in the middle of this forest is there's trash everywhere, like human trash everywhere. I don't mean like people that are trash. I mean people that are trash that have left actual trash there, like McDonald's wrappers and stuff like that, empty bags of Doritos. And so I'm assuming the wildlife kind of got used to coming there to pick up whatever scraps the people left when they're, you know, out of beer and meth and they go home. So we're camping that night. You know, like you said, there's a whole episode for it. So that night, Mike is sleeping in his tent. My girlfriend and her dog are in a tent, and I'm in my own separate tent because I had a new backpacking tent. It was very, very small. I was testing it out to see if I would like it for solo backpacking trips when I'm by myself. So that's where we're at. And it's the middle of the night. I don't know what time it was, midnight, 2 o'clock, I have no idea. It was really dark. It was really dark, I know that. And all of our tents are pretty close together. And out of nowhere comes this roar from the woods, which I best describe it as a tiger or possibly like a dragon or something. That's what it sounded. It was so loud and like deep, guttural, ferocious that, like, you know, the tent wall shook, like you could feel it when it growled. And it did that a couple times. And my girlfriend was like, Jimmy, was that you? You messing with me? She doesn't actually sound like that, but, you know, for the purpose of the story, you know, that's
I would hope
not.
Yeah.
And the sound was so terrifying, like I wouldn't even roll over to look out of my tent to see what it was. And I'm like, no, it wasn't me. And her dog, that normally, you know, her dog attacked an alligator once.
Yeah.
Her dog laid down on her and like wouldn't get up when this growl thing happened, which it did it 2 or 3 times. And anyway, she was like, will you come sleep in here with us? And I'm like, yeah, I will, you know, because I'm trying to be like, you know, the big, brave, you know, strong boyfriend. But really, I'm like, I don't want to sleep alone. Like, what was that? I was just telling Mike a few minutes ago, it was such a terrifying sound that had I been there alone, I would have packed up and left. And I camp almost weekly, like all over the place. In Florida, the Smokies, I went to Yosemite a few weeks ago.
And this is just, and I know I'm interviewing you, so it's hard, but you are totally cool with being outside in nature
all the time.
Be fine.
Yeah.
You're okay with it.
It's like a weekly thing for me.
Yeah.
And if here tonight where we are, if that happened tonight, I put myself in the car, I'm going home. I'm not getting eaten. I go out of the woods to enjoy myself, not to get eaten or mauled or possessed or swallowed whole or whatever wilderness dragon bears do. I don't know what they do. Now, so we had no idea what it was. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's not actual tigers or dragons in Ocala. Has to be a bear. Has to be. And so what I'm guessing is that this particular bear was used to coming in to that area to, once again, get whatever kind of leftover food, trash people had left, and it was just pissed that we were there. I'd never heard a bear make this type of sound. So we went on YouTube and typed in black bear growls.
I remember that.
And then there was like a series of them, but there was one where it was like exactly the same growl. And when the dog heard it, she laid down. She's like, I don't want any part of that.
And I believe you were like, "Oh,
Yep. Yeah. That was it, man. Another thing it kind of sounded like, which maybe it could have been actually. You ever heard alligators do their weird guttural thing when they're mating?
Yeah.
How everything vibrates. Maybe it could have been that too. Either way, if that was an alligator, it would have had to been freaking giant, or a really really big bear. Either way, something was pissed that we were there, and I won't go to Freak Creek ever again. No, thank you.